You have to model, you have to verbalize, you have to discuss, and then you have to let her make some horrible decisions with some horrible dudes that you probably are never going to know about.
See, I'm back on my. There's too many niggas. I'm fooling these niggas. And how many niggas? It's two of these niggas. Like booing them niggas. I'm doing these niggas. So who gonna deliver the news?
So I watched this video, and all I can think about is if I identify as the husband, right? If I identify as this man who loves this daughter and it's my wedding day and me and the daughter have planned it out, what's my reaction?
My daughters are married. All my daughters that are married to good men. Good men. And I've told every one of them at the wedding. I've pulled every one of them at the wedding aside. I said, if you ever hurt her, they will never find your body. I said, there will be no court. There will be no protective order. I said, there won't be any of that. If you ever hurt her, they won't find your body. She'll be my daughter to the day she dies. And they all know. Everybody knows. And I think they appreciate it. I think there's a lot of women out there would just say, man, I wish I'd had somebody in my life that had that kind of commitment to my safety and to my future.
Right? And then I think about the father. Are you ready to field those types of reactions? And right, like we all understand the message, I love my daughter and she has support, right? That's the message. But you have to frame it as such, right? Because what it's saying is, if you hurt my daughter, there's going to be a consequence and a problem. However, to say nothing of if my daughter hurts you, what'll happen, right? And so now I'm not objective. And if I'm not objective, then I can't be trusted, right? I can't be the person that the husband and wife come to for counsel or for favor or for anything like that. I cannot be a resource to this couple if I'm not objective to what's actually happening, right? Because now neither one of them can trust that I have their best interest at heart, right? I have her best interest at heart, or mine, right? But do I have theirs as a family? Wait till they have kids. As a grandparent, can't trust me. I'm like, why am I making this wedding day all about me? If I'm that real, if I'm that guy, as the father, this kid already knows it. You already know because I participated with you. You already know kind of how I get down. You already know if there's a problem that warrants that type of response from me, that you about to get it. You understand what I'm saying? So why do I got to tell you that on your wedding day? What is so special or prime about this day that I have to give that sort of anxiety-ridden and odd speech to somebody, right? For me, it's great. I'm the father. I'm gonna insert myself into this day, and then I'm still going to be important. But it's ruining everything else. And now when the groom has an issue, or he's not quite right, or he's sort of upset, that plagues the daughter, right? She's standing next to her soon-to-be husband, and she knows if things are off. She knows if things are not going well. So she could feel that, right? And so it sort of ruins the entire day when what you need to do is sit back and think, okay, this is their day. It's not like he's going to hear this message and then all of a sudden think, oh, I better get my shit together. That's not what he's going to do, right? What he's going to do is have a chip on his shoulder. I know what I would do if I heard that response, or that point that you're trying to make to me. I'd think, listen, man, you'd be better off saying to me, welcome to the family, and let's me and you work together to give my daughter the best experience that she can get in life, right? And so now we don't have a subordinate, right? We don't have a superior. We have equal partners trying to do the thing that both of us want to do, right? We both love this girl differently, but she's the apple of both of our eyes. And so now we're working together to get a wonderful experience, which means if I need something because I'm trying to give her a wonderful experience, because that's what I do, this father is now more in the mode of, well, let me facilitate that. Let me help, because I know the greater good is for doing well for this daughter, right? Now, if you come across a man who's not a child, who's about that life, then my response is, hey, well, that works both ways. So if you can promise me as the father that you'll never hurt your daughter, then I can promise you I don't need to murder you. But I don't think you can make that promise. Because the truth is, we're all going to hurt each other at some point inadvertently. That's just how life goes, right? Everybody gets hurt by everybody to some extent. And so you can't promise that you're not going to hurt your daughter. Why would I be able to promise that? And right. And so if the price for hurting your daughter is murder, then we might as well go ahead and get it started right now. Like, I'm not here to listen to all that, right? So if I were to say to the father, hey, you know what? I've heard in some past you guys have had some interactions, or maybe not. But if you hurt her, they're never going to find your body. What? That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, coming from the groom, it sounds assaultive, right? But this is what fathers have been saying. If you hurt her, I'll kill you. But then when the shoe's on the other foot, which is the same, right? Because understand this concept of the last person in the hospital room, right? Well, you're in the hospital. You're never going to come out of the hospital. Imagine this, right? And everybody wants to come, and they just send your kids, your grandkids, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, parents, spouse, whomever. And one by one, people leave that hospital room. Now, if you're a child and you're 8, the last person there is a parent, mother, father. Right. But as we grow, the last person there who's the most important to you changes. That role changes. It's now your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever. Right. And that is now the last person in that hospital room because that is the most important person. That's the person that's going to sort of bring on your legacy. That's the person with whom you need to make these plans for. That's the person you tell your last wishes to because they're going to carry those things out because they know you better. Now, I guarantee you this. If we're married, I'm going to be the last person in the hospital room, which means I'm the most important. I'm the most trusted, and I'm the one that's the keynote to this operation. So when the father says to me, if you hurt my daughter, they won't find your body, you don't have a right or a position to be able to say anything like that to me, right? Because I'm the most important. I'm the last person in the hospital room, right? I should be saying that to him. Thanks a lot. But if you come around here with some drama, it's going to be a problem for you, right? Because I'm the one that's entrusted to this safety. Now, we're talking about basic, good relationships, right? Why does this woman want to marry me? She feels safe. I provide safety. I provide, mental and emotional sustenance. I provide, the nutrients in which you're going to need to grow as a human. Not the father anymore. He did, right? He shaped her. He did everything, but that's not your role. So for you saying that to me on the wedding day specifically, you're way out of line. You're not a hero. You're way out of line. You understand what I'm saying? So think about how we speak to each other and what these words say, right? Because I guarantee you, if you threaten me, I'm from a different place, man. My response is, well, then let's just handle it right now. Why wait? Why would we wait if I know that this is hanging over my head, that this is kind of how you want to get down? Why would I wait? I might as well serve you up now. Now, can you imagine I'm beating up your daddy in the church? It's a lot. But once you extend that type of fear tactic, you have to wonder what is going to be the result, right? Now, you trust that these are good men and good boys and they're going to kowtow and say, okay, that's fine. So you can do your antics and act a fool and be superior. You trust that. But if the person isn't that guy and then challenges that bluff, are you ready? Are you strapped right there? Is that your move? Don't think you are. I don't think you are. Are you able to fight? Because typically you're an older man. Right? She's marrying a younger man. Now, we have experience and strength on our side, but I don't know about that cardio. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That is not in my corner. That stamina, that is not in my corner. If it goes longer than 30 seconds, I don't know, man. I don't have a bet for that. You get me? So we're assuming that this father approves of the marriage. He says, yeah, these are all good men. You approve of this marriage. So I trust my daughter to be able to communicate to me what needs to be communicated to me, because the truth is, some of that pain that this new man causes, I should never get wind of, right? Because it's temporary, it's misunderstandings, it's inadvertent. That's couple stuff. They need to work that out, right? They need to have the freedom and the leeway to say, okay, well, this is between us and nobody else needs to know, and that be that. Right? Like, we all want to protect our daughters and our sisters and our mothers. And presumably these men that are coming into to the framework, right? These fiancés and husbands are now allies, right? So why create an adversarial relationship with the girl's boyfriend, fiance, husband? Why would I create that? I'm trying to create and foster an environment where that man is now adding to the familial posturing, right? Now this family is able to do some moves because this man is a resource. He's an asset. He's bringing in extra thought, sensibility, stability. He's bringing in finances and an extra set of hands and all these wonderful things, right? Because he's going to have a daughter, and that daughter may get into some stuff. He's going to want to be able to call his allies, me, the brother, the uncle, whomever. And we're all in it together trying to protect the people that are in our families. And that's the idea that you have to have. And sort of rejecting people that you are also inviting in gives mixed messages. And it sort of undermines the entirety, right? It all it does is try to perch the father as someone who's still superior, someone who still has a position. And it's way more selfish than it is not. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that you can convince me that you're doing this for the woman, right? Do you think she wants to know that that's what you said to her husband today right here on the wedding day? This stuff should have been handled. It should have been settled. Matter of fact, are you not teaching your daughter to have temperance and to be able to discern between good men and bad, right? Are you not teaching her to bring home a basically good dude, overall a basically good dude? She should be able to figure that out, right? She's not bringing home the nigga she was bringing home at 2 a.m. that you didn't know anything about. That's not who she's bringing home for marriage. She's bringing home for marriage somebody, if you have a good relationship with your daughter, somebody that you approve of, somebody that you have trained her to look forward to, somebody that is following in the great behavior you have modeled to both your daughter and her mother, whether you're together or not. Do you respect this woman? Is this the behavior that your daughter can expect from the person that she chooses to participate in life with? Yeah. So overall, if we start to unpack these statements that sound like they're protective, they're horrible, right? It says that your daughter doesn't have the talent, doesn't have the wherewithal to take care of herself, that she automatically needs you to clean up her messes. Untrue. It says that you're basically insecure about your own life and how you've handled things, that you have to insert yourself into their life. Bad business, right? It says, hey, listen, I'm still a tough guy and you should be afraid of me. For what? For what? It's a very delicate, and we've all accepted it as a formula in this day and age and in this culture, in this community, to say, okay, I'm looking out for my daughter and I'm not going to let anybody deal with her or hurt her. For sure, right? I'm an ally and I'm supportive. And for sure, if something happened that warranted this man being removed from his body, I'm the nigga to do it, for sure, right? But threatening him, as far as that's the consequence for just her pain or just her hurt. That's not a necessary consequence. It's just not, right? And if he calls your bluff on that, then what? So think about it. I mean, let me know in the comments, right? Hit me up. Let me know what you think. I think that, like I've always taught the 15-year-old what you should take, what you should not, when to call me, when to work through it yourself. You know, which boys and which, well, for her men later, which ones do you deal with and which ones do you not? What are the qualities and values that you're looking for? And what are the things that should like start to get your wheels turning? You know, what are those qualities? I have to identify them and then I have to model them, right? Patience, caring, interest, support, paying attention to your partner, being there, all of those things you have to model, you have to verbalize, you have to discuss, and then you have to let her make some horrible decisions with some horrible dudes that you probably are never going to know about. Those calls go to the best friend, right? Those calls go to her girlfriends. They try to handle all that because they know by the time I get involved, it's all. But now you have no reconciliation. You can't even get back together with this dude. I hear about some of this silliness. Anyway, keep pushing, keep parenting. Think about how you communicate. Try to do it well. Have a good day. Happy Thanksgiving.
Keep it closer to your heart, spot God with your short ass arms. I'm here to tell you about the harm I bring the mortal. Sword and rob, beat the beast with your